Welcome to the Howell Business Beat, where we delve deep into the dynamic world of entrepreneurship, innovation, education, and success stories, bringing you the latest insights and strategies to thrive in today's competitive business landscape. Join us today as we interview leaders and explore trends shaping the future of commerce. Today, we're joined by Laura Saline with LESA, Career and College Readiness Coordinator, to discuss the bridge from education to industry and what LESA is doing that's gaining nationwide attention.
Ooh, thanks. So official.
Right. Well, thanks for being here, Laura. We are excited to have you on today. There's a lot of exciting things happening in our county. I know that one of the things that we hear frequently is that workforce, talent, all these things we're hearing from our members. Diane is also here with us today. She's my co-host. Don't want to forget
Hello,
her.
everyone.
As I'm saying, we're gesturing to Diane. But we hear often is that how are we shaping the next generation of leaders, and how are we preparing the next generation of the workforce? And that's where you come in. So you are just really engaged in the community, doing a lot of different things as it relates to this specific area. And with that, I'd love to for you to share kind of firsthand what your role is.
So my official title is Career and College Readiness Coordinator. And when we put this role together, we purposely put career first before college, because we believe that students need to have a direction to know what type of education they need beyond high school. Mm-hmm. So as this role of mine has developed over these last 7 years, we've realized really also the need for students to have exposure to the different businesses in the area, the different careers that are available, and what is waiting for them out in the world of work, and especially in Livingston County. So we've really put a lot of emphasis into work-based learning experiences and getting students into the employers in our area so that they can build their networks and that the employers can see the fantastic talent that's coming out of our schools.
And hopefully keeping them here, keeping them engaged, not only giving them that experience, but understanding what it is to be a part of the business community here.
Absolutely.
So, well, awesome. It's exciting stuff. And we're happy to have you here today to share a little bit more about what's going on. So I want to make sure that we're able to touch on some important dates that we have coming up for businesses that are looking to grow their talent pool.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you asked me to come out, this was perfect timing because we're just about to kick off our 23-24 school year. Schools are getting back in session. Everyone's excited, and we have a lot going on, as you said. So what I'd like to talk about today is 3 dates you need to know to grow your talent pool. So any business people that are listening, get your pens, calendars ready, and be ready to jot these dates down. We're also going to have the information in the show notes. Is that correct?
Absolutely, with the links and all.
Awesome. So the dates that we are talking about are ways that employers can connect with Livingston County students through mentorship, through business exposure, and to have potential for future hiring. And so we have been thinking intentionally about how to help to teach employers how to navigate these interactions and make them really worth your time, because we know that employers' time is challenging, busy. We're looking to make a robust workforce. And so how to do this well. So the first date that we have is Thursday, September 7th, and that is our employer workshop for student events. We will be hosting that at Livingston Educational Service Agency from 11:30 to 1 p.m., and we're going to be highlighting how to do Manufacturing Day and Job Shadow Day. So this invite goes out to all manufacturers that are interested in participating in the Manufacturing Day event that we will be hosting in Livingston County October 7th. And also to any employers who have not yet got to participate in our LivCo Job Shadow Day. And you don't have to be a manufacturer to come, but we will feed you. And if you'd like to come at 12:15, if you're not a manufacturer, we will be highlighting the best practices in job shadow days as well.
This is a great opportunity for businesses to network. So you're going to give them the information that they need, the tools to make it really easy, and and the why, right? Why should your business be engaged, which truly is a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're talking talent and keeping talent local. So this is all happening on September 7th, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And it's in support from Ann Arbor Spark, and they are going to be providing our lunch, and we're going to be talking about the effective manufacturing day, how to welcome students for job shadowing day and allow them to experience a day in the life, and really talk about those benefits that you were mentioning and how it's beneficial to both parties.
Yeah. So for somebody that's never participated, has no clue, how long has manufacturing day been going on, job shadow day, and what do those look like? And I know you'll probably dive deeper into that on the 7th as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't answer how long Manufacturing Day has been going on because it is a nationwide event. Okay. I mean, this has been happening for a long time before it really bloomed in Livingston. But ever since I've been in this role, so that's been at least 7 years, we've hosted Manufacturing Day. It's looked different over the years, and I know you've been a part of it. Chambers have been amazing support with that. But it really is essentially a company tour, where students get to walk into a manufacturing facility, see that it's not your grandfather's dirty manufacturing facility anymore. It's highly automated, very clean, very bright, and then experience what some of the different job opportunities are in those facilities.
I think that is so important to just hit on, because you're right. It's not that old, dirty, that stigma that's attached to that, right?
Right.
And what these jobs look like today, I mean, a lot of it's so, automated, and you're working with really cool robots and, I mean, making things and seeing that happen and how that happens. I mean, honestly, to me, it always amazes me when we have an opportunity to step inside and kind of look under the hood at some of these places, what's happening there, and the career path that one can go down, and the opportunity to make things, which is super cool. But really just to kind of build and come into your own, and there's opportunity to grow.
Absolutely. And just like in a hospital, where hospitals are not just made up of doctors and nurses, manufacturing facilities have so many components. I mean, I know some of our local manufacturers have their own podcasts, and they have their marketing teams, and they do things to make manufacturing fun and attractive, and they need people in those roles. So lots of different opportunities there.
Yeah. Well, and it's an industry too where you almost have immediate gratification, because you're making things and you're seeing it. At the end of the day, you can look back and say, I made this, and you have something tangible. It's not that concept of, what am I doing? You're working for however many hours every day, and it's like, what really did I accomplish? Well, now you have something, and it's like you said, it's cool. It's just fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you touched on that and expanded on that more, Diane, because even like I get so fascinated when we go to these places like Pop Daddy. Like, you don't think about when they're filling the bags with popcorn, how they're getting sealed, how those bags come in on a roll, and the machines that put them together. And that's just, I mean, that's food, which is totally different than maybe automotive or the ultrasonic welding that we have. So it's so multifaceted, and like you said, there are career pathways. There's so many different opportunities within. Yeah. So it's great to provide that exploration. Yes. And that hands-on experience in that tour. And then I think even with Job Shadow Day, you can take it a step further.
Absolutely. And just before we leave the Manufacturing Day topic, that is open for students. If you are listening and you have a student that may be interested, any student that is a sophomore and older, or in our career technical education classes, welcome to sign up for that. So please see your local school counselor and let them know that your student, or have your students see them and let them know that they want to sign up for Manufacturing Day, and we'll get them on those tours. So Job Shadow Day does take it a step further. So our next dates, this is with a plural, that you need to know, are Wednesday, October 25th through Friday, October 27th. That is our LivCo Job Shadow Day. that is the event for the county that we host through LESA for juniors and seniors to be able to spend a day in the life of some of our businesses. Our registration for employers is open now. So register as soon as you're done listening to this podcast. Go in and click this link and register, because we really need you to open your doors for these students. Super awesome way for students to learn about your business and to start some networking opportunities. We've had so much success with this event because students are in meeting our employers in our county, and the employers are going back and thinking, wow, these are students that are upcoming talent. We've had a ton of success with students shadowing and then going back to the employers later for future opportunities, whether it's internship, employment, and employers have found that students will go back and talk to their families and say, hey, I just spent the day at Mr. Sparky, and by the way, you need an electrician. I know somebody that you should call. So it's great business exposure as well.
Yeah, we love hearing that. Go ahead, Diane.
And it's open to all businesses. I mean, I know we were just talking about manufacturing, so it's not just larger organizations. It can be smaller, mom and pop organizations, coffee shops, downtown businesses, services, insurance agencies who maybe are looking for new agents, things that just expose the different types of careers that are out there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I've got a list here, but we need everything. We need salons, we need pharmacies, we need manufacturing facilities, we need restaurants, healthcare, please. Healthcare, that's an area that kids are really, really interested in, but they have no idea what it really looks like to be a veterinarian or a dentist. Mm-hmm. So those are areas that we really, really need opportunities for kids.
Absolutely. And how many businesses have participated? How many are you looking to engage this year?
So you keep asking me for that number, Janelle, and I don't have the number, but it's infinite right now.
Okay.
But in the past, we've had our record high was last March, and we had 52 businesses participating. Woohoo! But we could definitely use more. Okay. And we also we went from 20 students in 2019 doing this event to 141 in March of 2023. Huge. So kids are really interested and really excited about it, but they really want to be able to open up that Job Shadow Day platform and say, there's the job I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. And we can only do that if we have growth
Business
in our participation.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exciting. I know I'm asking about numbers, but the reason being is because there's some really exciting things happening with LESA, and I was hoping that you could elaborate on that a little bit today as we talk about our advisory board.
Absolutely. So we have this amazing employer advisory board at LESA. It's made up of some employers that represent all the different facets in our county. We have educators that are on the board, and we meet on a regular basis to talk about what the needs are in the workforce. And so we not only look at what we're doing now in the schools, but what we could do and develop in the future to help give students more work-based learning opportunities, more experience, and come out more prepared and knowledgeable for what they want to do next. So that being said, we tapped into our wonderful advisory board this summer and said, hey, there's a really cool challenge through the U.S. Department of Education, and we'd like to apply for it. And our business representatives, including the Howell Chamber, wrote us these great notes of support that we included in our entrance. And we got to be one of 100 semifinalists in this challenge. And that is exciting.
It's very exciting. So this is nationwide, which is outstanding. And I believe we are one of 3 in the state of Michigan.
You got it. You got it. Our Livingston County is on the map.
And that is definitely hats off to LESA and your efforts, because that is, I think, just a huge testament to the work that you guys are doing. And it's so wonderful to be a part of it, because this is so important. And like I said, it's something that we're hearing all over. So with being a semifinalist, what does that mean for us? And can you share a little bit more about that?
Sure, absolutely. So I will say that, we did the writing, but the businesses and the support of the community is what I believe helped qualify us to be one of the semifinalists, because we already have a great ecosystem in place for supporting this growth and for this opportunity. So now all we have to do is continue to just water and nurture this and watch it grow. So we have decided to focus on 3 areas in work-based learning that we'd like to expand on in our Job Shadow Day specifically. And that is expanding on opportunities. So that's where we get back to needing more and more people to please help us to support Job Shadow Day and have businesses sign up for this event.
I want to touch on that too, just for a minute, because we talked about different types of businesses that could participate in this, but nonprofits can also participate. And I think this is a great opportunity.
That is a great opportunity
to expand the career pathways for nonprofit. And nonprofits play a huge and vital role in Livingston County and beyond. But really here, I mean, there are so many nonprofits in Livingston County, but to understand the work that they're doing and open up those career pathways, I think is huge. So I just wanted to make sure that we noted that as well.
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Well, absolutely. And just the services that they provide. I mean, they're vital components to the quality of life that we have here in Livingston County and for our residents.
And there might be an immediate turnaround in that kind of interaction too, because there's often volunteerism that is needed with nonprofits, and students can definitely participate in that even before they graduate in high school. So we decided we want to expand. We want to help to prepare. We've heard from our employers that we would like students even more prepared when they come to a job shadow to ask questions, to learn about the business, to know what they're looking at when they come into that role. So we'll be working on that. And then also removing barriers like transportation. We need to help students that have barriers, not able to get to those job shadows, to be able to get there. So be working on that as well.
It's exciting stuff. I love that multifaceted approach. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and I'd love to see some more businesses become engaged. Wonderful. That is exciting stuff. Now, Laura, what can you share about the advisory board in of itself? What other, beyond this challenge, which is very exciting because also we have an opportunity to be a finalist as well.
Yep.
So we could probably expand on that a little bit too. I just get so excited. I'm all over the place.
Well, I have a question. What is the next phase? Like we're a semifinalist. So what's the responsibilities do we have at this point?
So as a semifinalist, we are going to receive coaching from organizations that are experts in the areas of work-based learning. So we can, in our groups in the county, problem solve and figure out ideas to meet those 3 topic areas, but we'll get some expertise from outside because I know there's really cool things going on all across the United States.
Sure.
And we'll hear about that from other people. We also will have a cohort of the other semifinalists to bounce ideas off of. So that will be really, really cool. If we meet those, then we are in line for a small amount of money. But then if we meet the standards, I don't really know what exactly the qualifications are. I'm sure we'll find out as we go. But then there's a final round, and that takes the 100 semifinalists and whittles it down to 10 that get a large amount of money to support their efforts. So we know we'll be there. We got a great community. We're going to do this. So we'll be able to give you the numbers, Janelle.
I mean, if challenge is in the name, we're going to rise to the occasion.
Right. That's right. So. No competition here, right?
The gloves are on. Yeah. Awesome. No, It's exciting stuff. So, so that's one piece of this. And I know that the advisory board is also working on really expanding that ecosystem of what does it look like to have a student graduate and be career ready, and how do we outline that? So anything that you could share, provide some insight on as far as what that group's working on.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a document called the Michigan Career Development Model, and it is currently in its next revision stage, but it refers to the need to have students starting in preschool with career exploration and weaving that into our education so that they understand the connection between what they're learning in school and then how they can use that into the workforce and into their careers, and also understanding themselves and their skills and their talents and where those can be applied. So we will be leaning in more to that career development model, and with the help and support of our advisory, be able to bring in more activities at each grade level that will help students connect what they're learning in school and then what their next steps are.
Wow. It blows my mind.
know,
like when you said preschool, I'm like, I mean, how do you, and I know you might not have the specifics, but how would you even begin to take a preschooler and try to make that connection for them, or give them the tools to make that connection on their own?
Yeah. Well, with preschool, you think about what they see in their everyday life, right? So just imagine coming into a preschool classroom with a bag of tools and pulling each tool out, whether it's a spatula or it's a hammer, and talking to students about what they might use those tools for. I mean, those are really practical everyday life.
It's true.
But it also helps to bring the awareness for students, you know, when they see people in their daily life and they're just little people, but they can see those things that people are doing to make the world go.
I think too, like construction or you know, firefighters and just kind of those typical things that you want. I mean, you're talking about kind of emergency procedures and introducing those things, and just looking at that, you really don't think that could be an opportunity for career exploration, but it is.
Yeah, and a lot of schools and classrooms are doing this already, and you know, bringing the firefighter to school and different things like that. But then there's that intentional, pointed, saying, hey, this is a job that you could do. You know, it's really just a next step. It's not anything major or drastic. It's just really calling attention to the roles that are available.
I mean, this is such a leap from the, you know, the old fashioned career days when you used to have your parents come in.
Yeah.
And
but those aren't bad either.
But I mean, they're not.
Those are still happening.
And parents are important, and I'm glad you brought parents up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, who do kids see on a regular basis? You see your parents doing whatever they do, whatever their careers are, and having those conversations. But it's taking that concept, but just expanding on it just 1,000 times, magnifying it.
Right. And so parents are a huge resource for our job shadow days, our manufacturing days, our internships, because they are the people in our community that care about the growth of our community and our students. And I think there's a huge, rich resource in there is all the parents that are working out there and what they could bring to educating our students as well.
And kind of making that realization too. We talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago, where I mean, there's other paths to just that traditional schooling that is so very expensive, and really weighing the options. I mean, education is never lost. I mean, it's never a waste of money, but is there better avenues to put those funds towards?
Well, and depending on what you want to do. So making sure that you have these explorations, these touches, to have a better understanding of what you like and you know, what you want to do.
Yes, those experiences, which really leads us to our next date.
Perfect.
So Friday, January 26th of 2024, we are sending out an invitation to employers for an internship lunch and learn. That is going to be at LESA, Livingston Educational Service Agency, from 11:30 to 1:30, and we will be feeding you again. But we would love to have you.
We'll be there, Laura.
I was going to say, I'm sensing a theme, and I mean,
but we were going to feed you, but you're in.
We're in. Free food, we're there.
Perfect. So like we talked about, we really want students to have experiences that will provide preparation and training. So knowing what that next step is, taking that, what they learn, and then saying, oh, yes, I see the reason to go get that degree or enroll in that apprenticeship. And the way that they can do that is through internships and those experiences. But sometimes an internship feels really overwhelming for a business. I'm just speaking, I'm not a business. I've had some interns, and I know it can be overwhelming.
100% right. That's what we hear. I think that's a big hang up. I think that it's a challenge. Interns are very, very valuable. It's wonderful to have somebody in there with fresh perspective, and to, again, you know, as you're looking to cultivate that next maybe generation or employee, it's wonderful experience. But I think that a lot of the times businesses are turned off because there's an intimidation factor as far as, wow, this is going to take time. It's going to take resources. It's going to take training. There is a lot of involved in it, but it is a two-way street. So I think that's one important thing to remember. But I love that you're holding this to really, it sounds like, support businesses in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have had interns at Livingston Educational Service Agency before, and we know that it does take time and effort, but we believe that there are a lot of businesses in our county that are doing internships well. And so there are a lot of really cool best practices out there. And so we have some resources that we can learn from. And so what we'd like to do is, first of all, take this information session to talk about the why to offer internships and hear from some employers and some students who have benefited from these experiences. And then if you're in as an employer, we would like to offer an opportunity for you to join a cohort of employers who will meet on a monthly basis for 4 months through Zoom. Just, little hour session with best practices of how to create a work plan for a student, how to onboard an intern, how to do all those things to take that lift off of you alone of thinking about it, but work at it collaboratively so that once we get to our April 24th date, I snuck another one in there. Write it down. We're having a youth employment fair at Livingston Educational Service Agency, and we have our early college students who are all looking for internships. So we will hopefully have a cohort of employers who have developed ideas, shared best practices, and feel really, really prepared to then go to that next step and offer some internships.
I love it. What a great idea. And I love your sneakiness of getting that.
But you know what? I am going to speak to that last date. I mean, that student job fair is amazing. I mean, to see just the enthusiasm of these kids coming in and how professional they are and just their confidence. I mean, that has blown me away. They just walk up to these employers and just have conversations. And it's just a one-on-one adult conversation. And they're just so intrigued. And the employers have fun. I mean, I was really impressed with the employers last year. Just taking, what some people might think is a more simple industry and just expanding on it and letting people see how many different, like you said, how many different components go into that.
Absolutely.
That it's not just what the facade looks like on the outside. I mean, it's a whole its own little city inside with all sorts of different roads that lead to different paths. So I was really impressed.
Yeah. And it was really cool to have our chambers and support with our students walking in the door and then kind of looking a little nervous because it's the first time they've experienced an employment event. Yep. And we had over 50 businesses there. So it was really a busy event. And we had the guides from our chambers to walk them through and say, hey, what are you interested in? And help kind of guide them to different employers that might be a good first place to start. So at this event this year, we really hope to see more employers. And we also hope to see employers offering internships and even considering a high school student or an early college student as an intern. And that's what we're going to try to build in through that internship lunch and learn and then employer cohort.
Awesome. Well, lots of exciting things happening, lots of dates. We'll make sure that these get into the show notes. We can't wait to see Livingston County as a finalist for the Gen Z Challenge. So
you know it.
Thank you for sharing all this information with us today, Laura, and we appreciate your time.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I put one more little pop in there?
Yeah, please do.
All right. Sorry. But I have mentioned the early college program. If anybody's interested in seeing what the heck is that, please follow the link that we've added for our Facebook page for Livingston Career Development and watch some of those podcasts that talk about internships, employers, our early college students, the experiences they've had. And then also there's one other link we're going to share in there, and that is just a registration link. If what we're telling you seems like a lot, but you want to stay connected with it and not sure where you want to plug in, just go right to register here, and then that gets you into all the different opportunities that we have, and we can help you navigate what is the best fit for you.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was just great conversation today. It really was. I mean, this is information that every business they need to know. they need to know it because it affects everybody. It affects every business.
But really, even beyond business, it's the parents, it's
the community,
the students, the community. So really, anybody listening, there's going to be some great takeaways here. So.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity and letting us share what we have going on.
Of course.
Exciting.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.